It started like any other performance. Bright stage lights, polite applause, an audience settling into their seats with programs folded on their laps, phones tucked away, expectations modest. Most of them had come out of curiosity, not devotion. A cultural night, something different, a way to end the week. Very few of them knew anything about Filipino music. They didn't know the language. They didn't know the history. They definitely didn't expect to cry. The singer walked onto the stage quietly. No dramatic entrance, no exaggerated confidence. Just a calm presence, dressed simply, carrying the weight of something personal rather than performative. Before the first note, the room was restless. Chairs shifted. Someone coughed. A few whispers floated through the aisles. Then the music began. Not loud, not flashy, soft. A single note held just long enough to feel intentional. Then another. The melody unfolded slowly, like a story that didn't rush to explain itself. The lyrics were in Filipino. For most of the audience, the words meant nothing. At least not on paper. But something else was happening. Faces began to change, postures softened, conversations died instantly. The song didn't demand attention. It earned it. In the third row, a woman in her 40s felt her throat tighten unexpectedly. She later said she didn't know why. The song reminded her of driving late at night after her mother passed away. Of not knowing what to do with the quiet. Across the aisle, a college student wiped his eyes quickly, embarrassed. He had come with friends. He wasn't supposed to feel this way, but the melody had slipped past his defenses, straight into something unresolved. The singer's voice wasn't perfect in the technical sense. It cracked slightly on higher notes. Breath was audible between phrases, but that was exactly what made it unbearable. In the best way. It sounded human. By the second verse, the room had changed completely. No one moved. No one checked their phone. Even the ushers had stopped near the walls, hands folded, listening. The song spoke of longing, of distance, of loving someone you may never see again. Not because of anger, but because life pulled you in different directions. Even without understanding the words, people understood the feeling. In the back row, an older man sat frozen, tears streaming freely down his face. He didn't bother hiding them. He had survived 2 wars, buried friends, buried a wife. He later said the song felt like someone had finally said goodbye properly. As the chorus returned, something remarkable happened. The audience began to breathe together. It wasn't intentional, but the room synced. Inhales, exhales. The song guided them gently, like a tide pulling everything into the same rhythm. A young Filipino woman in the audience clasped her hands tightly. She had grown up hearing this song at home, during birthdays, funerals, long-distance phone calls. Seeing strangers react to it broke her open. For the first time, something from her culture wasn't being explained. It was being felt. Halfway through the song, tears were everywhere. Not sobbing, not dramatic, just quiet, unstoppable tears. The kind that come when something reaches you before you have time to resist. The singer noticed. You could see it in their eyes. A flicker of disbelief. They slowed slightly, grounding themselves, steadying their voice. This wasn't just a performance anymore. This was shared space. When the final note faded, no one clapped. Not at first. The silence lasted several seconds, long enough to feel sacred, long enough to feel wrong to break it with noise. Then one person stood, then another, then the entire room. The applause wasn't explosive. It was heavy, deliberate, grateful. People hugged strangers. Some laughed through tears. Others just sat back down, stunned, staring at the stage like something had just passed through them. Later, reactions poured in. I didn't understand a single word, but I understood everything. I felt like the song knew me. I've never cried like that in public before. I called my mom right after. The clip went viral days later. Millions watched. Comment sections filled with disbelief. Americans admitting they had never heard Filipino music before and now couldn't stop thinking about it. Some accused it of being staged. Others called it manipulation. But those who were there didn't need convincing. They remembered the quiet. They remembered the tears. They remembered feeling less alone than they had in years. The singer didn't become famous overnight. There was no grand transformation. But something else happened. A door opened to a culture often overlooked, to a sound that didn't need translation, to the reminder that emotion doesn't care where you're from. That night, an American audience didn't just hear a Filipino song, they felt it. And for a few minutes, every person in that room was connected by the same fragile, beautiful thing. A melody that told them they weren't alone.